Welcome to the Charleston Real Estate Connection Podcast, connecting and reconnecting you with all things Charleston. I am your host, Nia Joy, your golden realtor, licensed in the state of South Carolina. Welcome to the show.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Charleston Real Estate Connection Podcast. We are so excited on this beautiful day in Charleston to have with us Nia Hartsfield of Hard Candy Women's Self-Defense. Hey, Nia.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
So I have a Nia on here, and this is so interesting to me because I've interviewed or been around other Nias, and it's becoming more of a thing for me. I don't know if you get it, but I'm excited because I don't know about you, it's just awkward saying my name to somebody else.
Yeah.
Right?
I understand that.
Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who enjoy podcasts, check out this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. We appreciate you liking and sharing our podcast as well. Check out the YouTube video that we have and subscribe to the channel. So, Nia, I asked all my guests this.
All right.
What is your connection to Charleston?
I am, believe it or not, I'm a native of Charleston, North Charleston to be exact. Born and raised here, went to school in the North area. I graduated from Stratford High School in Goose Creek. Okay. We later on moved to the Somerville area, but okay. I was born and raised in North Charleston. So this is my home.
Wow, right here, born and raised. Mm-hmm. So. Yes. From knowing some of your background, you sound a lot similar to me. Like after high school, did you leave? Did you leave? Were you gone a while? Did you come back? Did you stay? I know you're military as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I graduated high school and joined the Navy. So I've been gone for about, I want to say 12 years. Okay. 12 years. So when I returned to Charleston, it was new. It was way different here. I actually returned as a tourist.
Wow.
In a sense.
I can imagine, oh, yeah. Especially, having your family here is one thing, but when you've been gone that long and you've seen the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's different. So it's different.
Well, thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thank you. So military family, you're from here, Stratford High graduate, yes. Navy veteran. You come back here. You and I actually met at an Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority incorporated event.
Yes.
And when you were doing a training. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, I had never seen anything like that before. Me personally, anybody that knows about me, I'm not a Zumba person. So you won't see me at a Zumba event unless I'm okay. Like that's not my thing. I like to run into obstacles and stuff. But when I saw this, it was a part of like a health awareness. And I really liked how they incorporated, your business with this. And to see you up there, you and your husband, you have a mannequin, you're up in here, you're in here like teaching us self-defense techniques. Then we actually practice it, which I was like, I had never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I try to, I certainly bring the energy. It was my purpose to differentiate myself from other self-defense institutions in the area. I wanted to kind of take away the seriousness, the aggressiveness to women's safety and self-defense education and training. I want women to come in comfortable. So I wanted women to know that I didn't want them to expect for me to come in as some kind of Xena warrior princess, but just as a woman, I'm a woman. Right. Yes, I'm a military veteran. Yes, I have a tough side of me, but the everyday woman going to school, going to work, she's going to have nails. She's going to be wearing her high heels. She's, hair. So this is the side of me that I kind of disconnected from once I joined the Navy.
Wow.
But then I realized that coming back and wanting to implement these self-defense techniques, I wanted it to be as realistic as possible. So everything, all of the self-defense training and measures are reality-based. Everything. Okay. Yes.
That's
so I expect for you to show up. Yeah, I expect for women to show up wearing their heels. Bring your bags, your duffel bags, because we need this thing to work. I want you to be able to implement everything that I teach you in your everyday life.
Real life situations. Nice.
Oh yeah, real life. Yes.
So that leads me to how this whole thing got started. Like, what's your business love story? How did that come about? This whole hard candy, women's self defense, this idea.
Hard candy love story kind of sounds, but um, it didn't start off as a love story. I mean, I'll be honest, totally comfortable. When I moved back to South Carolina, I was, of course, an adult. You know, I was almost 30. So I started watching the news more. I was more engaged in politics and what had been going on in the world. At the time, South Carolina was leading the nation in violent crimes against women. Wow. So when I started the business, we initially started off as a self-defense product company. Okay. And selling the products, making the sales. It was great. But then I had women who either didn't know how to use the products or didn't believe that their life was worth defending enough to even purchase. So I said, you know what, there's a greater need that needs to be met here. I need to educate these women. So then I put myself into position to become certified. So I'm a certified self-defense instructor. Okay. And now I teach cognitive defense measures. So the love story aspect of my business, I can't say I was enthused, but I wanted there was a problem that needed to be solved. And in order to solve this problem or reduce the statistics on violent crimes against women, I said, you know what? It's got to be a different way. So now I implement the preventative measures that can be taken, training the cognitive, making women aware, how to increase their awareness, how to be more assertive, how to identify these potentially dangerous situations or relationships. So it's certainly, I'm now positioned now I am a self-defense trainer and an educator.
That's awesome. I don't really see a lot of that. I mean, when I think of self-defense, I think of, jiu-jitsu, karate. I know in the military we have combatives. I think of that kind of thing. I don't think of someone actually being out here teaching a course. Because immediately when I attended this event, I'm immediately thinking, wow, this would benefit so many people if it's part of an organization or team building but something you said that really struck me was women not feeling as though their lives were worth defending.
Oh yeah. When I came across that, I was like, hey, this is more than just selling products. That's why I'm actually in the process of ending the product line now, but okay. Women, self-defense, it's my belief that self-defense begins with the mindset. You have to carry the mindset that you're worth it. So self-defense is a mindset first. I need to believe first that I'm worth defending. My life is worth that. So with these different engagements, the different training engagements, more times than not, the training will be about 3 hours, but then there's that segment where I have to make time for women who just want to talk. There's always going to be a testimony. And I knew then that it's time to take this to a different level. I need to differentiate myself from any other self-defense institution out here. And I have to do that first with training the mind. So that's the core of my training. Right now, we're in the process of implementing a new training program. It's called SWEET, the SWEET technique. Surviving with effective escape tactics. So everything is reality-based. It's more of a holistic approach to self-defense, where I get into the preventative measures. I get into women, just training them how to identify if they're in an unsafe situation, from the relationships that they're in, from leaving the schoolhouse, the college campuses, the workplace, in and out of their homes, their vehicles. So you have to first know that, am I even safe? Because there are a lot of situations where women, that we believe that we're safe with this person or in this place, and we're not, because we weren't trained, or we don't understand how to identify the potential threats that are there.
That's so true. I mean, you watch enough crime television to know that that's who the abuser is, normally someone the victim knows.
Yeah, you got to sharpen that intuition. Just going into how teaching women how to not ignore that feeling or that voice. In a few of my segments, I went into how you have animals out here that when they detect something, when an animal detects danger, their ears stand up, the hair stands up, or they kind of freeze. They can detect the dangers there, the presence of danger. As humans, we have that same ability. We just tend to ignore it. We make a decision to ignore those red flags, or ignore when our body is sending off all of these alarms that, hey, this person isn't safe, or this place is not safe. And we just proceed. So just teaching women all of this. Oh, yeah.
That's so true. I mean, I think it makes sense. I know in everything that we do, your body goes, your mind follows.
That's true.
And I think I just like the concept of how you have that approach. I think you were telling me earlier it's a holistic approach. You were saying you realize that that's the nuclear issue and it has to be addressed first, and you build on it.
Oh, yeah. So when people ask me how, so I've got a tagline, it's time to change these statistics. And people are like, how are we going to do this? How do you plan on changing these statistics, Nia? And it's by teaching women how to be more proactive, how to take those preventative measures, how to set those preventative measures in place to reduce their chances of becoming the victim of a crime. And a lot of this has to do with a lack of awareness. So a lot of it has to do with a lack of awareness.
So your business, how and how do you attract, and how do you work with women to bring about this awareness? Like, what's the model? How do you go about doing that, especially during these times? How are you going about working with your clients?
Oh yeah, the times right now. I mean, we've got an increase in crime. I've now incorporated the whole 6 feet for, as far as the safety measure for COVID. I've implemented that now as a way to stay safe. So beyond just a disease, 6 feet can actually save your life. 6 feet gives you the opportunity to set those boundaries, to set a boundary. It gives you the opportunity to identify a threat. You're creating that space. I always talk about in my trainings, I teach women and girls how to create space, creating distance, not allowing anyone in your safe space or your net. It gives you a chance to identify the potentially criminal behavior or activity. So that's kind of what I'm pushing in now, as far as just adding to my training plan.
Okay.
But now I'm getting into launching videos. Okay. Self-defense training videos, more so on the cognitive defense measures. That aspect of self-defense, over the physical,
So with the videos, is it like if somebody's interested in getting training, or they be their team, maybe training their team? I know me as a realtor, you and you had a video, you did a webinar, where, although you were directing it at realtors, because of our jobs can be kind of dangerous, especially with people you don't know. You also, I know these measures can be used for other people as well. So say you did have a group that you wanted to train, like how would that go about? How would you go about training them?
Well, do you mean in person or as far as video?
Person, video with the...
With groups, I actually have hired a training team of certified self-defense instructors. So what we do is we pair our groups with you. I would recommend that you bring a training partner with you. So when you register, bring a guest or a friend that you feel comfortable executing these different techniques with. We go from ground escape maneuvers. If you were ever in a rape situation, or if the fight ever went from standing to the ground, that's where I have implemented some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, joint manipulation, low centers of gravity, how to use your body, just techniques that do not require strength at all.
Okay.
So you don't have to come in. I mean, you don't have to come in with big muscles or, feeling like, oh, I'm so small. How am I going to do this? You push the body past its limit. So joint manipulation is very effective. Very effective in being able to twist your way out or using your assailant's body against them so that you are able to escape.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So as far as the webinars, like, is it on your website, which I'll be sharing all of Nia's contact information as far as her candy with self-defense, her organization. We'll be sharing that in the show notes. If someone was interested in reaching out to you and starting this as a process, they pretty much reach out to you via your site.
Social media. hardcandyselfdefense.org. They reach me directly. My training team, we typically respond within about 30 minutes. We ask them what their needs are, the size of the group. Our training plan is actually set, so it'll be about 3 hours, 3-hour training segment.
About 3 hours.
Some days we've gone and I've had organizations set it where they wanted to train for a whole day. So what I've done was broken it into 2 parts where we cover basic hand strikes. You'd be surprised that there are a lot of people out here that do not know how to form a fist. So we get into basic hand strikes, chokehold escapes, ground escapes, different ways to break out of if you ever tied up. We get into just every aspect of self-defense there is. This is not necessarily an art, but it's a life skill. And that's my personal take on self-defense training. What I don't teach mixed martial arts. I teach a life skill. I teach a life skill that you have to keep with you. This is just as important as remembering to put your seatbelt on when you get in your vehicle, or making sure you didn't leave your purse in a cart. So,
well, I know that you mentioned that you teach girls as well as women. So, what is there an age? Is it an age?
Girls are so yes. I've actually taught at a local school here in the area, elementary school. So I've actually taught self-defense to little girls as young as age 5. Okay. So as long as they're able to take instruction and they follow directions, just getting them in the practice, and it's more so repetitive. Just kind of repeating the process and getting them familiar with how your body moves. Understanding how the body moves. Children are small, so they can easily they can slip through us, run through legs. And what I encourage is that the parents continue the conversation more so. That's what's most important for the child, is that you continue the conversation of safety. So it's not always about the measures or the techniques. But it's constantly having that conversation of safety. Constantly having that conversation of how, who to trust, body confidence, teaching your children how to be verbally assertive, teaching your children body safety. We can't, as parents sometimes, kind of gets uncomfortable talking about body safety with our children, but child molestation is the #1 crime against children, next to abduction. Right. And it's underreported. So it's very important to encourage the conversation with body confidence and awareness.
Oh, whoa! I mean,
it gets pretty deep.
Yeah, that's really nice what you're doing in the community, because it's definitely needed in our area. And like you said, you bring that unique perspective as far as focusing on mindset first, and to me, mindset that affects everything, the confidence and whatnot. So.
Oh yeah, we get into confidence. We get into positioning. I teach women to position themselves, how to position themselves as a hard target when they're in the public. Criminals typically, statistically, attack or approach you at about a 45-degree angle. So also known as the blind spot. Okay. Just like in the wild, a lion is going to look for or attack what they perceive to be the weakest one or prey.
Mm-hmm.
So criminals have that same mindset, animalistic mindset. So, you want to position yourself as a hard target. And this is what I teach the how to in my trainings. So the how to's, the difference in being a soft target and a hard target, and that all falls in line with assertiveness, being verbally assertive, walking, being aware, alert. So not paranoid ever, not paranoid ever, but just more aware and more alert, more confident, head up, walking, I'm sure, where you're going, have a sense of direction, being situationally aware, so, not lost. No, I parked my car, looking around. You don't want to do that.
Because, that's true. It's important. The number one thing I remember you saying, and I learned this, I think I learned this at an earlier age, probably from my mom, was the way how you were talking. I love that you mentioned this in the training, is when you're going to your car, remember that you should have your keys already in hand. Like, you shouldn't be thinking reverse. I saw this woman doing that the other day, and it was from a car I was driving past, but I mean, she didn't do it for a very long time, but the fact that she was like digging for it. And I remember I habitually started at a younger age. Like, when I'm in the store, I have it in my hand. Even like, once I even learned you can hold it a certain way and use it, like, I was
That's right. Okay. You can use it as a way to, right, exactly. Even if I don't know, even if I can't remember where I parked my car, they're not going to know. You're not going to know I forgot, or it's not going to be on my face. I'm not going to be presenting to the public that I am lost.
Yes.
So, even as simple as in the grocery store, for those who prefer to carry cash, it's never wise to count your cash at the register during the transaction. Now I know that, okay, they got cash on them. You have to think the way a criminal would think, or consider what this looks like from the perspective of someone who could, or who wants to victimize me.
Right.
We have to consider the time of year. We have to consider time of day. That those are very key aspects of situational awareness. Understanding that time is something that plays a key role in the crime rates between the times of 10 and 2. I believe it's 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. is when the highest rate of crime occurs. So just even talking about pumping gas or going to the ATM on a Friday night, I provide tips on how to safely do a money transaction at an ATM if you have to go at night.
True.
So these are all things that are, like I said, they're life skills. You have to practice them. It's not something where you take a class one time and then never do it again. These are things that I teach for women to carry with them for the rest of their lives.
Yes, and that's what I like about it. It's an ongoing, it's an ongoing life training, and you're still evolving with everything that's happening too.
Oh yeah, we've totally built upon the training plan since I first started. This is, like I said, it's more than just kicking around. And don't get me wrong, I am a super fan of MMA. Don't get me wrong, I love boxing. I actually kickbox. Kickboxing is one of my ways. It's part of my therapy, and so I love MMA. But what I will say is that there are rules. Okay, there are rules in place. So if I'm a boxer and you don't believe in boxing, you believe in engaging me with a firearm or engaging me with jujitsu, there's going to be a different, it wouldn't be realistic in the street for a criminal who doesn't care anything about, tackling and grappling into the floor. I need to think about the preventative measures that need to be taken to prevent myself from even engaging this threat. Because this person could very well have a gun. And there is no karate out there that can keep me from, like I said, I love it all. Don't please believe me.
Not at all.
But
speaking of which, I was thinking, I just reminded, I was happy I was able to score at least a couple of products from you before your line, before you stopped selling, and I appreciate it.
Because these weapons are useless to us. I don't like to use the word weapons. I prefer protective or protection tools.
Mm-hmm. Protective tools, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, conceal and carry that was a big thing.
Yeah, carry them, of course. Yeah. You need it. I of course, but it's useless if we, one, don't believe that we're worth defending, and two, don't know how to use them.
True.
And it's also very important to know the state's laws, your state's laws on self-defense. Because while you may feel that it's justified, the state may see it differently. According to the laws.
Well, speaking of all that and the other tips, what is one thing that you would like to leave with our listeners to let them know? Just something personally from you, to something from the heart, to something that you just want to leave with the listeners.
Like I said, self-defense is a mindset. That is my core belief. Mm-hmm. You need to wear this like as women, when we're getting dressed and we're ready to go out, we want to look our best. We pull out the best dress, the best shoes, we got our makeup done. Before you leave, you need to look in that mirror and you tell yourself, not today. Not today. And because what is so unfortunate is the statistics, 1 in every 3 women will become the victim of a violent crime in her lifetime. Those are the statistics. When I was younger, it was 1 in 4. But I've recently read it's 1 in every 3 women. So as beautiful as you and I are, and as confident as we carry ourselves, before you leave as a woman, leave your home or your place of work or business, you need to leave with you and carry with you the mindset that I am worth living. I am worth defending myself. It has to be a mindset that you carry with you, just like you carry your purse. That's a part of your body armor, is your mindset, your mentality, how you think of, how you see yourself being worth that. And so that's what I encourage. I encourage women to keep that with them. If they don't remember anything else, remember first that I'm worth that.
Wow. You are worth it. And and that means a lot. I think I look forward to sharing this podcast, and I really hope that someone gets something out of it and just learn something new, be able to implement it, whether it be by reaching out to you, or maybe if the organization reaches out to you.
Totally open. Awesome. Totally open to the conversation of safety, especially as it pertains to women. And it's not that I don't provide training to men and boys. It's more importantly, women are the highest at risk. So while I educate, I'm training women, but I encourage you to bring your husband. I encourage you to have the conversation of safety, self-defense training and education. Share the information with them. This is for our community. This is a problem. This is everyone's problem. Women's safety is everybody's problem.
Right.
So reach out to me. I'm at www.hardcandyselfdefense.org. Contact me directly, and we usually respond within about 30 minutes.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's really good. That's really good. I know I enjoy following your videos and your posts and just all the great information that you have. And I love that, you're a really positive person. It makes sense based on what you do. But
it's key. Certainly key.
And follow her. Definitely reach out to Nia with any of your questions. She's an amazing resource, and it's one of the most easiest people to talk to. So I would definitely encourage you to reach out to her, check out the website and see what's going on there. She has a lot of great information. You have a Facebook page.
Yeah, we've got a Facebook page. We've got a Facebook group, all under Hard Candy Self-Defense. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. The Facebook group, we try to keep things fun. I want to keep women empowered, and I want you to be encouraged. I want you to, maintain that level of confidence. So we share relevant memes and posts and just different. We have different conversations for awareness, healthy debate. Because what I do respect is the different perspectives as it pertains to women's safety. So yes, join us, connect with us. We're here. We're available. We're present on social media, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you again. I really appreciate it. It's been a great interview here. I know it's a kind of a gloomy day, but this has been a beautiful discussion, and I look forward to sharing this on the podcast.
Oh yeah, very healthy discussion. Very healthy. It's very relevant. I encourage everyone to continue the conversation. It's definitely a conversation. You know, you have to keep this going with your wife, your mom, your daughters. It needs to be talked about every day. Every day, getting from point A to point B is a blessing.
It is.
That's truly a blessing. So I encourage the conversation. Thank you so much for having me again.
Sure. No, thank you. Thank you for the time. You heard it here first. Hard Candy Women's Self-Defense Organization with Nia Hartsfield. I hope that you guys stay safe out there. You guys stay golden.
Oh yeah.
This has been another episode of the Charleston Real Estate Connection podcast. Thank you so much for listening. You can find us on our website at charlestonreconnection.com. That's charlestonreconnection.com. Or check out our YouTube videos at Golden Spaces by Nia Joy. That's Golden spelled GOALDEN Spaces by Nia Joy. Enjoy your day.